Good afternoon. Welcome to this webinar presented by SCORE. My name is Jose Melgar and I will be leading the conversation today. And I hope that any question, any concern you want to address, you write that in the chat and we will talk at the end of the conversation. I will try to give all the answers possible. I have prepared some material to support this webinar. I like this illustration. I think this what represents the ideal business. Sharper, faster, stronger. Sharper is how we want the customers to see our business. Faster in response, faster to the market, faster in giving better service to the customer, and stronger to increase the net worth for the owner every day. So that is the purpose of this. I will be talking about competition, competitive edge. Some words about myself. So why I am talking to you about this matter today. I have been for more than 40 years in business in different countries and with different sizes of companies. I have bought and sold companies in every continent, and I have seen businesses from 5 employees to 30,000 employees. And for the last 10 years, I have been in my private consultant firm and also with the SCORE, presenting webinars and also giving advice to small businesses. Most of the time, I will be talking about competition because that is what I think makes businesses better, is being better competitor. So that is why I try to make fierce competitors every day. And I present this question to every business person I start talking to. Are you a fierce competitor? I say this in a positive way. I am not talking about destroying or trying to grab the pie of the other people. What I think is a fierce competitor is the one that holds their position, that nobody wants to be against them because they are so strong, so solid, so sharp, that many rivals think twice before facing those. So the fierce competitors I talk about, they try to stay ahead. Not grabbing, is to staying always ahead by innovating, not only with technology, innovating with ideas, with proposals, strategizing, and when tough moments come, they are ready to face them. They are prepared for tough moments. That is a fierce competitor. And they know when there is a challenge, and they know when there is an opportunity. So it's the ideal business person. But before this, I would like to put some perspective with some numbers. I am sure the next page will be of interest for many. Two years ago, there were about 30 million small businesses in the US with only one person. So solopreneurs, no employees. So 30 million. That means less than 10% of the population of the US are facing the challenges by managing a business, by running a business. Okay, that is information. What is worth that? It's just curiosity. What I want to talk about is the block at the right. In those 30 million businesses, there were almost 120,000 business with one person making more than $1 million a year. They are different from the pack. They are people that are facing their challenges in a different way. Those are fierce competitors. Those are the ones I want to talk about. So those guys that are thinking or facing the things differently. And these are not inventors or people that bring a solution that will change the world or an IPO that will be very famous. So many of these businesses are day-to-day operations similar to other ones, but thought differently. Let me talk about one example. As member of SCORE, I attend many roundtables of businesses in Florida very frequently. Every month, at least 3 roundtables of different activities. And I like one that is mostly with chefs. So roundtable with people that are dedicated to prepare food, to sell food, all of them. And they talk, some of them, the majority, that the average order they have when they are doing catering is $500, $800. So birthday parties, parties in offices. So they cater to small groups and they make that. They are thriving. They are doing good. In the same group, in the same roundtable, there are a couple that are making orders of $6,000, $7,000. They are in a different league. They are catering to people, to weddings, to groups that are 100, 150 people. So it's different. What grabs my attention is that in the same group, there is one person that says, I cater only to orders of $50,000 or more. He's a chef like the other ones, sells food, goes to the places of the client and prepares the food there, but charges higher. This guy says, I am catering to high-end customers only. I serve lobster, I serve caviar, I serve high-end menus they request, and I charge dearly. So the people that cater to clients of $800, they say, I charge about double the cost of food. So if the materials cost $350, I charge $800. It's good. It's how the industry does. The one that charges $7,000, $6,000 says, I charge the triple. If the materials are $2,000, I expect to get $6,000 from that event. So the bigger, the better. But the guy that charges $50,000 says, I charge 4 times because my clientele can afford it and is willing because I am catering to what they want. I am delighting them. That is the difference. That guy, if he gets 20 orders of 50,000, is making 1 million in a year. So I know one of those persons. I also go to a group where there are people that sell coffee. So they have coffee bars. And then One person talks about how many cups they serve in average. But there is another one that says, no, I am distributor of coffee. I import coffee from other countries and sell to everybody. So I make $100,000 in every shipment. So same product, same market, same city. Those people that sell $1 million are among us. They are not bringing rocket science. So this page is the center of what I will be talking again. So I will be mentioning group number one that is in the left side, group number two, what is in the right side. So I prefer to be in group number two. However, 30 million people are happy in being in number one. What is the situation here? Why I wouldn't like to be in number one? Because it's crowded. Because there are many people, too many people doing the same. Because if I do that, I am dealing with commodities. That the client will say, okay, you are selling the same thing that this other guy sells and this other guy sells. I will buy what is cheaper. So that is not competition. That is commodity market. So the customer chooses, and that is right. And I chose to be in that market. So what is the main consideration of this group? Is that these people know a trade. I am a baker. I am an accountant. I am a dentist. I am a hairdresser. I know something. I think I know it very well. And that is what I sell. Then I design my business around what I know, what I offer, what I sell. And that is very important. That will be the difference what we will be talking in the next minutes. The group number one that is crowded, that is these millions of people doing the same thing, are designed around the product, what I have to offer. So then we have to follow what the competitor is doing. I cannot raise prices because the others are not doing it. So I just follow the lead. I have no chance to be a leader in this amount of people, that amount of competitors that are there. And of course, there is no time for a strategy. So these small businesses don't work by a strategy. They work by short-term tactics. So last week, the competitors did this. I have to do the same, because if not, I will lose my clients. I have to follow them. I have to react. So this is more than 90% of the businesses in the US and in the world. But the main point is design around what I know, what I offer. Is how I see the competition, how I view it. And the group number one and number two see the competition differently from each other. Group one is short term. I sold this at this price, was good. I made a good deal yesterday, was a good business. Group number two, always in the long run. So I am planning to have a bigger business, and then I am building relationships. So I am not only after the short-term gain. Short-term gain is good, but it's not enough for me. I see the bigger picture. So group one understand competition like grabbing market. So now I am selling more units than before. I am selling more units than this other guy. So I am better because I am grabbing market. It's a constant fight. The other group is seeing how the market grows, how I make the market grow so that my portion gets bigger. It's a different approach. And of course, with all this crowded situation, the group number one is always concerned of tricks. So what is this other guy doing in order to do it better? How can I give this wrong message in order that gain time? So those are shortcuts. So waiting always what I learned from this other guy in order to do the same. So the other group is building trust. I expect my customers trust me and they will repeat. They will come by again and buy and more and more and more. Those are very different approaches. This is the last time I talk about group one. So now I will be focusing in what the fierce competitors do. So mindset. First is how they think. They think differently because they see competition differently. I will talk today because this short time, I will talk about 4 things. There are several others that I could include, but these 4, if we take importance of them, will make a difference in our business. This group plans and execute. So they talk always plans, always plan. The guy who is making $50,000 catering started by planning menus, planning many things before offering that, planning how we'll reach that high paying audience, not to start working upfront. So before doing, I plan, then I do and do it well. So this group of people focuses on cash profits. It's different than just profits. I will explain why and why is so important. They are customer oriented. So they don't do the business around the product. They do the business around the client. What is the client I am going to pursue? The high paying client, okay, what do they like? What do they need in order to grab those clients? I will talk some about that. And also creativity and innovation. I am not talking technology, creativity to do things different every time. And we will give some examples of everything I am saying here. Planning. Why in SCORE we are always talking about planning? People that come to us say, yes, but why planning? I know many people that have businesses without planning. Why do you want it? Let me tell you this story, short story. Some years ago, I was working in Detroit in the automotive industry. And there was a dinner they were offering for one of the biggest stars in sports, Tiger Woods. So the captains of the big companies, Chrysler, Ford, GM, Toyota, were there. Was a big dinner, was a big celebration, and of course, invited a celebrity that was appreciated by everyone. There was a moment that the MC, trying to be agreeable and a happy moment, said, and now I introduce you to the best player in the history of golf, a legend, Tiger Woods, that he could beat me playing blindfolded. He is so good that even blindfolded he would win. Well, it's a good joke. Tiger Woods said, well, I defer. because I only play for money. And I will never bet money if I cannot see the flag, if I cannot see the goal, because all of you are business people. He said, you are captains of big companies, and I am sure that you don't put a dollar if you don't have a plan, if you don't see what you are looking for. So that is clear. It's not a piñata. So this is something that we need a plan in order to see where we are going. So if we are based in plans, we have clear direction. This is the direction I am going, and I will not deviate from that. I will allocate my resources, my investment in equipment, and so according to the plan. Not because somebody is offering me a newer equipment, because this looks old and ugly, and so I need to renew it. No, I don't need to renew it. I will allocate when my plan says it, not because it attracts the eye. And it will bring productivity and performance because there is no hesitation. The decisions are made easily because there is a plan. So that is why planning is crucial, and why all the fierce competitors, all people that are making $1 million and more have a plan. Okay, plan. Yes, what is plan? What kind of plans? Okay, let's be precise, not generalities. Number one, and without this number one, we cannot do anything else. If we don't have a compelling value proposition, all the rest is garbage. So the best effort is to understand what is my value proposition. That is what will make a difference. I will talk about that and will give some examples. But that, if we only learn that today, that will make a difference in the life of our business. Value proposition is what I have to offer to the world. What I offer that is different than the rest. Not better, different. Then marketing and sales plan, when I have the value proposition, I can make my sales plan. Not before. And then, of course, operating plan will come from the sales plan. Financial goals are the numbers that are produced by the operational plan and the marketing plan. And then I need to have a growth plan. How will I go from my business that today sells $50,000 to $300,000 to $700,000 and to 1 million? Because that will not be overnight, but I need to have a plan how I will grow. Investment plan. I will be investing when it's needed, not when I like. It's when it's needed. And innovation, how I will be planning constantly to have a better business. So these are the plans I am talking about. This page is what we call the strategy of the business. If I am a banker and somebody comes to ask for a loan for their business, I say, show me the list of plans you have. And let's talk about that. Should be this list. But first, the value proposition. Why I say it's so important? Because it communicates the unique benefits. What I am offering that is different. This guy that is offering high-end catering has a unique thing. He does a show. He entertains the people in the party. He brings something additional, not just cooking food. So my value proposition shows what I offer that is different and why my client will be better doing business with me. What is the benefit for them? Because everything comes what is in it for me. the client has the money. I want that money, but I have to offer something different. If I offer the same thing other person is offering, then it becomes who is cheaper. And that is not what the fierce competitor looks for. And the compelling means that will attract the client. Compelling is now that you see what I offer, okay, what is stopping you from buying? Should be something so good response to their needs that they feel compelled to buy from me. So this is the foundation for marketing. So people that are preparing advertising and the messages and so will come from the value proposition. That is the heart. Two examples I will bring to you. This one, and of course, names I am using here are fictitious. Situations are coming from my experience, but of course I will not be talking secrets of my clients. So in this case, this was a beauty salon. There are thousands of beauty salons everywhere. So this was to start in a big building of businesses, big tower. I say here the GM Tower because I like the design of the GM Tower, but it was a different business. What is important is in that business, in those buildings, work thousands of women that need beauty salons, and they are constrained by time, by schedule. So if I am a hairdresser, I am offering something similar to everybody. So I will not base my marketing in that I cut the hair better. Nobody will believe me. So what do I have different? So this business was to be located inside the tower. So their message was, you executive women that needs to be ready for a surprise board meeting, for a surprise invitation to a client, to talk with your lawyers, you need to be prepared. So I will be in the first floor of this building since 6 a.m. So if you need a touch in your hair or in your makeup early in the morning, or I will be here at 8 p.m. if you need it when you are leaving the office and you have to go to a business dinner and you need to be in good shape. Or I will be at any time during the day that you need that I go to your floor and give you retouch for 10 minutes in order that you go better for this surprise meeting. So what was this offering? Was flexibility in the schedule, giving flexibility that these thousands of women didn't have. So this is a compelling business proposition. For a beauty salon, this other one, a family was renting a big mansion to convert that into a boutique hotel. They had been working, man and wife, for 10 years in a hotel. So they knew the hotel industry. And this boutique hotel, bed and breakfast, you could call, is different clientele. But they knew something that clients don't like. In the hotel industry, there is something that is crucial. Check-in time is at 3 p.m., check-out time is at 11. There are 4 hours that the client cannot access to the room because the air cleaning is needed. There is a reason for that. But it's something that you don't like if you arrive to a hotel at 1 p.m. and they say the room is not ready, will be ready at 3. So you miss those 2 hours because you cannot go to do business and come back. Or then you say, no, I will skip the hotel and I will go in the evening because I have to accommodate to their schedule. That is a reality of life, and it's everywhere. So these couples say, okay, this is what customers hate. So I will be offering them that no matter what time they arrive, the room will be ready. And they will enjoy the room for 24 hours. So if they arrive at 1 p.m., they have the room until 1 p.m. tomorrow. If they arrive at 6 p.m., they have the room until 6 p.m. tomorrow. If they arrive at 9 a.m., same thing. So that is something different. So they say, okay, this is expensive because I need to have a room always empty for people that appear until their room is ready. Yes, but if I put the cost of that empty room in the rates for all the other ones, this is a high-end clientele. They can pay for that, and they are willing to do that in order to have that facility, in order to have things their way. So this is the business proposition for Le Boutique Hotel. Trying to be different. What do I offer that is different? Enough about business proposition. Now let's talk about plans for marketing and sales plan. For me, it's like the engine in a car. I go to a dealer many times. I like to shop for cars, even though I am not planning to buy, but I like to see what are the new cars. And most of the people go and see the features, what the car has that is different from the other ones. It's nice, looks better. So what are the seats? Are better shape, and what is the console? So the dashboard looks so nice. It looks like a spaceship. So I enjoy that. Yes, that is. But if a guy that really knows of cars goes to this place, start talking to the seller about what is the engine. Is a V6? Is a V8? Is a 6 in line? Is 4-cylinder? What is the output, the torque? They start talking about power, about what really makes a vehicle, what really transports me from one place to the other one. Is the engine. Okay, this is the sales and marketing plan. If I am a banker and somebody comes to me asking for a loan, I will spend most of the time talking about this. Tell me, who are your customers? How many customers you have today? How many will you have next year? How many the following year? So how many customers you need for sell $300,000 today? How many will you need? And how many units in 3 years? And how many customers? And how will you get those customers? How will you attract them? And how will you keep them? This is really where we should spend time when preparing a plan. Defining what is my goal. If I want to go from a company that sells 200,000 to a company that sells 10 million, this is the key. How do I prepare sales and marketing plan? We are not going to do that here in the few minutes we have. But the idea, a fierce competitor focuses on these things. So what is your customer generation plan? That is what is important. Is where the money will come from. Is from paying customers. So we need to identify who are the customers today and how many will I get and why I think I can get them and what will be the conditions in price for them compared to the previous one. Will I give them cheaper prices? What will I do? How I will keep the community happy? So all those things are the customer generation plan. So the guys who sell 1 million are different from the guys who sell 200,000. For this, they spend time doing this. And of course, this plan should come from the powerful value proposition. Cannot be divorced, should be the same thing. That is why first the value proposition, then the plans. And from this comes the rest of the plans, operation plan, financial plan, and so on. So enough about plans. I know that many people don't like to talk about that, but I cannot avoid it. So the thing with plans is that they need execution. If I am offering flexibility in my salon and a client comes at 7 p.m. and the salon is closed, then I am not walking my talk. I need to execute. I need to deliver what I am offering. And that is very important. I need to have a plan for execution, how I will make sure that things are done. I need to have matrix to make sure, matrix to make sure that it happens, how I will follow, how I will make people that are in charge of doing things understand that there will be consequences for doing execution. And once I go in a path, don't try to doubt. Don't look for different approaches. Once I define a plan, that is the Bible. I have to follow it. I cannot accept second guessing. We say that businesses that are successful focus on cash profits. Why cash profits? Why not profits? Because cash profits reflect actual cash generation. If I am buying a business, I am interested in the cash that business is going to provide, not what accounting is telling me. So accounting, a good accountant could make things look better than they are, but not with cash. Cash is there. Here's the bank statement. And then it highlights if it is well operated. A business that is producing cash constantly is a great business, and that is a good sign that is very well operated. So why do I say that is different cash profit from normal profits? So this is one example. So Great Investments LLC presents this cash statement, and they say that for the year 24, the financial statements show $422,800 profit. It's good profit. Those statements include depreciation, $21,000. Well, depreciation, you don't have to pay to give cash for that. It's accounting. So you add that. So really, the business generated $443,000. But then you see the working capital. The business is constantly giving credit sales. Receivables are growing. So the money is in the clients because they say, I buy with you, but you give me longer terms. Okay, so I keep giving longer terms. Okay, you pay me in 2 months or so, but that is money that I am not receiving, that I have to take from the profits. So this business in that year grew from one year to the other, $139,000 in credit sales. And of course, needed to increase inventory to be able to take more sales. So inventory grew $177,000, came from cash, from the reserves. And also, I was giving 2 months, 3 months to my clients, but my suppliers were only giving me 1 month. So I was paying faster than I was collecting. So I gave $65,000 to my suppliers because I have to pay the invoices. So in the end, the working capital took $380,000 from the profits. And there is a renewal program. So they have to renew all the equipment, and they cannot do that all at once. So every year they are putting some money in order to renew the equipment. So it took $88,000 in the portion this year. So really, they didn't have $443,000 in profit. They were $25,000 in negative because the business is requiring money that is not showing in the profit statement. That is why. I am not saying that this is wrong. I am not saying that this is bad. No, is that the ones that focus on cash are better. They are stricter in the way they see the profits, because there are businesses that are making profit in books and they go to bankruptcy because they are not collecting on time. So that is why the focus on cash profits. So this is another chart we could use to see the future in cash, because I need to see what will be my cash needs in the coming months. So this is only a list month by month. This is 12 months, of course. So if I am starting now, the first month should be June until May next year. So 12 months in advance. What I estimate will be the sales and what I estimate will be in receivables, because some of the sales will be in credit. Then what I will need to pay to the suppliers, sales tax I need to reimburse to the government, payroll, so all the operating expenses, but to know month by month, plan where the money will come from, because this is important. This is the way to keep the cash under control. So then at the end, I say I started with $2,600. I needed a bank loan because I will have needs in the coming months. So I am planning to receive the loan next month. So I will end with 8,500. So then how I will be using the money. So at the end, I will have money every month at the end. That is the idea. How I plan today not to be running out of cash. So these are things that good competitors are always taking care. Where is the cash coming and how I pursue it? What is different in those businesses that are thriving, that are growing? I present these big companies, of course. We are talking small businesses approach, but these should be examples. So these big businesses didn't start small and grow and grow and grow. They started according a plan. Why? Because they were focused around the customer. They did not focus around what I know, the product I sell, because they sell many products. They started with a plan and what is the customer? Where is the money going to come from? And they spend most of the time in trying to find out what are the customers' interests, how they make decisions to buy, because that is what is interesting for me. How my customer buys, what drives them. And that is changing because the environment is changing, because the technology is bringing new things. So the customer wants different things every year. And I need to know that in advance in order to be ahead of the competition. They pursue price improvement that is different of price increases. That means if I sell 10 products with 10 different prices and I am making more money in 2 of them, I will try to bring my clients to improve the mix to sell more of the good ones in order to have better price. Price improvement is better mix of prices, not price increases. When they give price discounts, it's not against profits because they are very zealous of profits. Discounts should come from suppliers, not from my profit. And I need visibility. Any town I go, I see all these brands that are very visible. I know where they are, even I don't know that town. So the same thing, since I am a small business, I need to have visibility in the website, digital visibility. Then I need to spend money in that. So this approach is only used by 15% of the businesses. That is why so the altitude, high altitude is very, very thin there. In the pyramid is not very crowded. In my strategy, I need to define how I will compete with time because I need to be fast to the customer, fast in responses. My web page should load fast if I am doing digital business. If I am developing a product for somebody, if I am a specialized workshop, how can I shorten time in order to give faster response? My competitor is saying, I developed that prototype in 20 days. I say, no, I do it in 12 days. How I do it? Well, that is my capacity. That is my fierce competitor ability. So the market will not pay me more for being patient because my competitor will be faster. So this consultant in Japan is insisting in the time-based competition because that is how we are ahead of the curve. So the Japanese are very insistent in that. Those big companies in Japan, they have many engineers reviewing their process to make improvements in the process of seconds. I will give you an example. Many years ago, I was working with a filter plant, and the assembly line was automated. The machine was sealing 4 filters per minute. No, 15 filters per minute, or 1 filter every 4 seconds. And then we hired a technician to improve the efficiency of the plant. He said, I will give you 1 second improvement. So instead of 4 seconds, now I will change the machine. I will improve the machine in order that you will be having every 3 seconds. So 1 second is nothing. No, now you have 25% increase in productivity. So how I compete in the management of time? Because we have to decide if we work in the business or on the business. So working in the business, we see in the left side. This person is every day, every single day, working hard under the sun, working hard. Nothing wrong there. And making her living there. But doesn't have time to think more. Is working in the business. She is selling 70 hot dogs per day, and 10 years from now will be selling maybe 80. Will never reach the $1 million sales. Is not thinking on that, but that is working in the business. If I work on the business, I spend some hours planning, some hours looking for opportunities, some hours calling advisors, some hours talking to my lawyer, some hours talking to my finance expert, many hours talking to my mentor. And about innovation, because in a small business, It's not easy to talk about innovation. People always think we are talking about technology, and technology is expensive. Of course, technology is included in innovation, but we don't have much resources. So innovating small businesses, we can differentiate from competitors, build a strong brand identity by giving better service. We can discuss among our people, with our advisors, how we can improve our attention to the customer. How can we be ahead with new ideas? So how we do that? How we start that? We need to encourage curiosity. We need to encourage experimentation. If somebody has a good idea in my 4 people working in my shop, so, and I can spend $300 in doing a prototype of their idea, that may improve, may do a lot of improvements in my service to the customer. Let's discuss with our people. Let's discuss with our advisors. What are new things we can do for our specific customers? Attend workshops. So we need to build innovation into our routine and schedule it. We need to say every 3 months we will have an innovation meeting just to talk about new ideas, even though we say, well, there is nothing new there. Well, there are not new ideas, but maybe next quarter somebody will come with something. We need to push for more ideas. Fierce competitor needs to have determination to make things happen. Strategic vision, not to be by impulse. Always thinking in the customer. What is good for the customer will be good for me. And of course, have ethics in order to gain trust, because trust is what will build the future. So with all this, we need to get a new perspective. If we have talked all this time now, what are we seeing different? Am I going to listen my customer? I am going to listen to my employees that they are bringing ideas for me and I have not been paying attention. I will start delegating something. At last, I will call for a mentor. What can I do? Because in the end, competing is not to be better than others. It's to be better than yesterday. That is all the thing. I am competing with myself. Is my business better than it was yesterday? Better, and only the customer will say that, not me. Okay, so 10 things, 10 actions, because I don't want you to go today saying, well, this is a chat that nothing I can implement now. Okay, these things. Number 1, you can take the phone and call for a business mentor that is free. You call, or not the phone, take the website to SCORE and ask for a mentor. That is free. That person will help you to improve the situation of your business. Start developing a compelling value proposition. If you spend 3 hours today developing a new value proposition, that will pay you back a lot. You will see things differently in your business. You can review your financial situation of last month. I say this because every person that comes to SCORE says, that comes with their business looking for improvement, they say, oh, but my last statement I have is from 2023 because I still have not gotten the ones for 24. So they are planning to go to a doctor with blood work of 2 years ago. So in order that financial information is good, needs to be fresh, needs to be from last month. Establish new goals for 1 year, 3 years, 5 years. Well, I want my business to be. Adjust my cash flow now to see where my profit will be. Make a list of things I can do different today. Meet with my accountant to say, okay, what can you do better? What charts can you do better for me in order that I control my business better? And schedule meetings with your clients to talk with them, to build relationship, to see what they would like you to do in order to be ahead of the competition. And there are some errors to avoid. So competition is not tricky, it's transparent. And many people say, okay, we all know this, anybody can do it. Well, that is an assumption, but then why don't everybody do it? Why only 1/3 of 1% of the business, the small businesses, are making more than $1 million? 1/3 of 1%. It's not being consistent. Okay, I will start now, I will write some plans, and then 1 month later, I don't remember about that. They are in the drawer. I'm trying to do shortcuts, to skip steps because I am smart. My experience says this. That is a mistake. I have seen that so many times. SCORE is a reliable resource. If you ask for a mentor, will be assigned to you one-on-one and will be with you as long as you need it, free of charge. So last year we had 992 sessions in Pasco. 74% of clients were already in business, and 626 people attended workshops like this one. So we are serving, and all these services are free of charge. So reach for a mentor. So with this, I really appreciate your attention, certainly. I hope this conversation is of use for somebody. If there is a need for materials I talked today, you can request at my personal email that is in the screen. Well, again, I give you thanks for your participation. I know that this is taking time from your daily duties. I hope that we can see our business differently now and do some improvements. Thank you, and have a good day.